And here we are. We are live again. It has been a while, folks, but I've received so many messages about wanting me to go live, wanting me to do some more of these streams. And I was like, all right, you know what? What better day to go live, do some of these streams than today with AMC absolutely popping off, up 23% right now. I've been watching it all day and it's just been going up and up and up. Oh, geez, sorry about that. It's just been going up all day, and I was like, okay, this thing is amazing right now. Just passed a $11 billion market cap AMC. Absolutely bonkers. Let me know if everything sounds all right on your end. It's been a while since I've been streaming, so I want to make sure everything sounds proper. Welcome, 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 everyone. Let me know if I sound all right. Audio's good. You can see me all right. I'm a little rusty when it comes to streaming. Hello and welcome. There we go. Let's see here. Yeah, we should be good. Cool. So let's take a look at the price action here today. I mean, it's just been stair-stepping up all day long, basically. Very little downtrends whatsoever, you know, with the exception of 10-minute intervals or so. I've just been amazed by the trajectory in the last few days. It's honestly been something to marvel at. Pretty freaking awesome what's going on here. Also, Palantir doing great today as well. Finally getting out of the pits. What's going on? What is going on? Palantir finally out of the pits. I've finally more than broke even. Now I'm up like 2% or something like that. But yeah, this has been a real exciting ride. Because, you know, when this thing was down at like 17 bucks, not everyone, but there was just so much FUD in the air about Palantir, like, this company's done for, this company blows, why are you even investing in this anymore? And now it's nice to see, okay, we got out of the pits here. Let me zoom out a few days, or to the day view. Why is that not? Oh, we just needed to zoom in more. Yeah, there we go. It's like, man, we have been through the absolute ringer here and now just finally climbing our way up, and we'll see what exactly this goes to. Blew right past these resistance levels at about 21 bucks, and really no problem there. Not really any red days in the last few days either. So it looks like our next resistance level is around $24, which we got a quite a little increase we can see before we even hit that. All right, let's take a look at AMC. Holy smokes, look at that one day jump up. I mean, they've gone up in market cap. Obviously, they're up 26% right now, but they've gone up in market cap in one day from something like 7 billion to 11 billion in a single day's time. That is absolutely astronomical. It's a marvel right now, especially in the stock market where it's pretty boring right now. I would happily take shots on camera if I had some alcohol here. I'm at my office though, so yeah. Take shots of coffee, I suppose. Oh, you know what? I actually have a beer in the fridge. There's an emergency beer in the fridge in the shop, so I'll have that. If Palantir, let's see, it's doing pretty well today. If it hits 22.50, we'll crack open that beer, which seems totally doable. Only needs to go up 22 cents. We'll crack that beer open. There's literally a beer in the fridge in the warehouse behind me that says emergency beer. crack open in desperate times. But yeah, man, this is a good day right now for a lot of my positions, really. Especially after these just being pummeled for a while. Welcome, Megan. Welcome, everyone. Let's see here. Zen Bullets, I averaged Palantir at 21.79. That's just about what mine's at. I think I'm at like 21.40 something now because I averaged down a bit. Do I think it could drop below 20 bucks again? I think it's possible. I just think there's, with how all over the place this stock has been, I would not say it's impossible that we could drop below 20 bucks. I think we're still within a range that is not a bad price. Remember, there's people who bought in on this in the 40s, which is just insane to think about now. But you know, there's going to be a lot up and downs. This is a weird company where good news comes out, the stock price goes down. It's like, what do you want? You know, they break expectations, stock price goes down. So I would not be surprised at this point if it could drop 10%, break that $20 mark again. I do think that we saw a lot of resistance here, and I'd be surprised if we get down as low as 17 again, but you know, you never know. I think it would actually have to take some bad news for it to drop that low again. But yeah, is it possible to go below 20? Yeah, maybe, but I'm long-term focused. I still think 23 bucks a share, or I mean 33 bucks a share by March 2021 is my price target. Does YouTube pay you daily? No, they pay you once a month, and it's like, so let's say for the month of May, they would pay you like June 20th. My biggest non-Palantir holding? That's a good question. Probably just index funds is my biggest holding. Let's see here. I would say probably Berkshire Hathaway for a non-Palantir holding. Let's see here. Yeah, it's probably Berkshire Hathaway. Coinbase, I have a good amount in that as well. It's hard when they're in multiple accounts. One of those two. I'm not sure what all the technical stuff is with cryptocurrencies or tokens, but I'm over the moon over the guess. Oh, on Telos I had been around 200% up since yesterday. Holy smokes, good bet on that one. If you're up 200%, I don't really know much about that crypto, but seeing a 200% swing in a day, you actually might want to consider taking some profits. I know a lot of people don't like when people say that, but you know, 200% up in a day, you got to expect some kind of corrections. Let's see if we can find that coin. What's a better buy, ADA or Ethereum? I think ADA has a larger potential increase. Ethereum is the more safe bet, but I don't think, as far as cryptos go, neither of them are like the riskiest bet, you know, even by far. So yeah, I think ADA has a greater potential to see a larger percent gain just because it's smaller total market cap. Holy, went up 351%. Yeah, you might want to consider taking a little bit of profits there just to be safe. Let's see here. Did I buy Harmony 1? No, I did not buy that. I'm actually going to turn down the AC real quick. Be back in 30 seconds. sorry about that. I was getting hot, especially because we got some coffee here that I need to down. Let's see here. ADA price target in 1, 3, and 5 years. I don't really like to do price targets with cryptos because they're just so hard to value. Because part of it is like, okay, who's to say, let me pull up ADA right now. Who's to say that ADA should be worth $200 billion or $800 billion or $1 trillion? Like, it's really hard to value, so it's hard to give a price prediction per se. But let me just pull up. You know, it's hard enough with a stock, even when you have cash flows, to do like a discounted cash flow and then still be right. Market cap of $54 billion. So if we just talk market cap wise, like, I think this could very reasonably be a $300 billion market cap when we just compare it to other cryptos. But again, it's like, how do we even value this in the first place? How do we value this market cap without it spitting out cash? There's no like good model on how to do it quite yet. So in my opinion, it's very hard to do a price prediction. But if we just factor in, okay, this thing could 6x, you know, that gets us up around $10. And some coins can 6x in a month. Some it could take years. So it's really hard price prediction wise. So I like to just more focus on what are the use cases? Am I willing to hold this long term through the volatility? If the answer is yes, I'm willing to buy a position and just hold it and wait through the volatility. So right now it's $1.70. I mean, this thing has swung like a mother because it was at $1.20. I bought a position a month or so ago, and I thought I was in the safe zone because then it jumped up, like, you know, basically doubled in price. I don't know exactly what it was at in its peak. Let's see. Doesn't even show on this chart. 1 month. So it looks like at its peak about $2.40 some cents. So I thought I was safe buying at $1.20. I was like, oh, this thing's doubled. I'm in the safe range. It went down to $1.05 at one point. Again, it might have even gone a little lower than that. And I added to it less than my original buy-in. So it's like, what? I don't even know. You know, you can't expect anything when it comes to these cryptos and what price they could be. So I like to focus on the use cases, the founders, what exactly they're up to. I really like Hoskinson, the founder here. If you want information about what he's up to, he actually has a YouTube channel and does regular updates on ADA. I actually have a video that I'll be doing, let's see, probably will be tomorrow or the next day, on a big update on ADA. So I'm working on that right now. Puerto Rico, that's right. Moving to Puerto Rico. I have a video that I'm working on as well, breaking down how exactly they use KuCoin, because I've received a lot of requests there and people who are confused with the interface. So I'm working on a video on that that'll have out fairly soon as well. It's so hard to say even if we're in a bubble or not, because even if you look at the stock market in general, it looks like a bubble constantly. Like if you zoom in on any period of time, it looks like, oh, that's a bubble. And then, you know, there's a correction always, but then it's just like up and up and up. So it's like so hard to say, you know, what's going to happen, because I mean, I constantly think back to like September, October of last year, when stocks were getting real hot after the recovery from the pandemic. And basically everyone was like, this thing is going to crash. And there was like a month, 6 weeks of a slow period. And then it just went on to hit record highs. And it's like, okay, my assumption of when things crash or when they're going to crash, I can't even guess anymore, because it just seems like everyone is always wrong. Even back in like 2018, the S&P was much lower than it is now. And everyone was saying it's going to crash. Don't even buy into the market. It's not even worth it. But it's like, if you weren't in the market for those years, you missed out tons of gains. I mean, especially in 2020. What's my plan if things do crash? My plan is to buy. I do think that things are expensive right now because I like to buy stuff that produce returns I like to focus most of my investment on things that are going to return me money, with P/E's of under 15, the lower under 15, the better. So I will buy, and buy some more if things crash. Honestly, if you're young, the best thing you could ask for is for a market crash, because you're going to be able to seize the opportunity of that market crash and then reap the rewards in the long run. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, crap face. Love you too. I'm just looking at the comments here. If you guys wouldn't mind liking this stream, we're getting back into streaming here. Trying it out again, seeing how it's going. Let's see here. If there's any companies or anything you want me to talk about, cryptos, I've done a lot of breakdowns on cryptos, so I'm really familiar with Chainlink, VeChain, XRP, Ethereum, and Cardano especially. There's so many coins, so a lot of them, unless I'm very well versed in it, I hesitate to say exactly, an opinion until I really know a lot about a crypto. Do I like dividend investing in the long term? I think it can be great. That's something that, effectively anyways, that's kind of the Warren Buffett strategy, is to find cash flowing stuff that's going to pay him a dividend, and you can use that dividend to buy more companies. So I think it's an awesome strategy long term if you can find a good dividend payer, especially now that I'm moving to somewhere where there's no taxes on dividends. So I might focus even more on that. The only downside I see with dividends and a dividend portfolio is you just need so many stocks to actually earn a big return off of it. I don't even know the exact calculation. I should do a video on this, how many dividend stocks you need to live on dividends, but it's probably 500,000 at least, I would assume. 500,000 to 1 million, something like that. Do I stake any coin? I have staked. What is the past tense of stake? I've staked coins in the past. I'm not currently staking any. I'm just lending them right now, just because lending gives a little bit more liquidity. So with staking, depending on the coin, you have to lock it up for a period of time, and that can really vary. It can vary anywhere from a day to 30 days. There might even be coins that are longer than that. I haven't seen any longer than 30 days. We're almost at 2250 though. I haven't seen any coins where you have to stake them over 30 days. But the fact that you actually have to lock it up means less liquidity. And with how volatile crypto can be, I like having the ability to trade if I wanted to. So I lend out instead, which you might be thinking, well, that takes away all your liquidity as well if it's locked up in lending. But what tends to happen with lending is, at least on KuCoin, the site that I use, I have it linked in the description if you want to use the same site. The site that I use, you can lend out for 7, 14, or 28 days. But what tends to happen is people will return the money usually within a couple days. And if you have a lot of money lent out, you just turn off lending, and you tend to get back a sizable amount of your lending in any given day. And that allows you for a little bit more liquidity, and you still get the return on your investments. So yeah, I currently at least just lend instead of stake. I may stake Ethereum in the future, get enough for a node's worth and stake. That sounds something that's interesting, because I think they're saying it'll be 8% interest, which sounds pretty cool. But I do like staking in general. What does staking coins mean? So the two main consensus mechanisms for cryptocurrency are proof of work and proof of stake. Now there's other versions as well, but those are the two big ones. Proof of work is mining to verify transactions. So basically you're competing with other miners. Whoever solves what's called a hash problem first gets the rights, the privilege to update the public ledger, and they get paid to do so. So that's proof of work, that's mining. That's when you hear about the environmental concerns and things like that. With proof of stake, all you do, it's also a consensus mechanism, so it's verifying transactions on the public ledger, which is just, you can think of it as a big list of transactions, all the transactions for a particular crypto that are just online, and anyone can look at those transactions. So proof of stake, you are staking coins, and your coins are effectively working for you to verify transactions. And how it works is a kind of a random roll of the dice based on how many coins you have staked. So let's say there are, just to make things simple, let's say there are 100 coins, 100 coins is being staked for ADA. It doesn't really matter what coin. And you have one coin staked. You would have a 1% chance that your coin is to be the one to verify a transaction on the public ledger, and then you get paid for that. If you had 5 coins, you'd have a 5% chance. So there's a random roll of the dice. That way everyone gets paid for staking their coins. And also what's nice about staking is it locks up the crypto. So if there's a lot of people staking a coin, it's actually increasing the demand because, well, it's decreasing the supply, which increases the price, doesn't necessarily increase the demand. So that actually helps to return the investment a little bit faster, where something like Bitcoin, there's actually the opposite incentive. So with Bitcoin, it costs money to mine. So there's an incentive for miners to sell their Bitcoin to pay for cost, pay for the cost of operations, electricity, things like that. And with that actually pushes the price of Bitcoin down because there's the constant selling pressure. Where with staking, it's just adding to your position. You have those locked up. You can stake those coins, and you make money, staking those coins. Wow, AMC now up 34% for the day. When we started, this was up 24%. Wow. 26 bucks. I mean, this might be it. This might be it, folks. This might be the squeeze that everyone has been vying after here. Wow. Welcome everyone joining. Make sure you like the stream if you enjoy this. Let me just check out the comments here real quick. Let's see here. Any not so talked about stocks that I'm bullish on? Yeah, I really like Allstate. We'll check back on this in a second. That's pretty darn exciting though. Let's do Allstate. Now, I did a video on this. The video did terrible, so you probably didn't see this video. Let's see, watch list. Yeah, the video did terrible, so you probably didn't see this video. But I break down. Yeah, this is Allstate Insurance. Let me just verify. Yeah. Oh, I got in before Carl Icahn did because he bought a 1% stake. So Allstate Insurance spits out cash. So I bought in at about $126, which was, I think, their record high. But even at their record high, I determined that it was still a value play. It still kind of is. It's not as good. I think it's still a good play. Even at this price, you're probably looking at like a 17% annualized return, which is awesome if they just can continue. But I'm a big fan of insurance companies if you can buy them cheaply, because insurance companies are like two companies built into one. So not only do they get premiums paid to them, and that's their core business, being paid by insured, and it gets put into this pool of money, but also they get this pool of money that they get to invest in other things before they pay out claims. So an insurance company is kind of like a person where, you have your office job, which is your main source of income. That's your day-to-day income. And then you invest your income and you hopefully make money off of those returns. So an insurance company is kind of like a person because it has these two different ways that it makes money. And if they do it well, they can produce so much cash. So that's one that I like. But no one seems to care when I talk about it. So let's see here, my watch list. Head back to AMC real quick. Can't miss out on any action here. Zoom in. There we go. Up 35 percentals right now. All right, let's see here. Someone says I'm too late for the Palantir dip. Too late for the Palantir dip. I would not be very surprised if this run hits 24 to 25 bucks. I'd not be surprised because we don't really have a resistance level. If you believe in technicals, which I think in the short run they actually work, we don't really have a resistance level until about $24.13. Which is close to 10% up from where we are right now. And then after that, we don't really have another major one until 25.50, something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a run up a little bit more. $22 really isn't that bad of a buy-in, to be honest. I mean, my average, I think it's like 21.40 something. So I'm only up, I don't know, a couple of percentage right now or something like that, which I'm happy with. AMC getting even more of a run right now. Wow, up 36% today. That is just fantastic. Honestly amazing. Oh, Custom Grains, appreciate the super chat. This is my good friend Chance. You the man, Chance. Let's see here. Do I watch Meet Kevin? Occasionally, yeah. I'm a fan of him, even though I don't have that much time to watch all of his videos. I'm a fan of the hustle. So I have 40 shares in Palantir. I selfishly would like Palantir to wait or dip since I'm heavy in AMC, and Palantir is where 25% of my gains roll into. Well, I mean, if you ask most people, they say Palantir is flatter than, I don't know, insert your derogatory joke there. But I think... I mean, I hope it doesn't, honestly, I hope it doesn't really just take off. Like, I hope it doesn't really go to 40 bucks instantly, because then we're going to have corrections and we're going to have more issues. I'd rather this just consistent pace up. I'd much rather that. And then there'd be no temptation either. If this thing jumps up to 40 bucks tomorrow, I would have temptation to, sell off a chunk, wait for it to go back down, buy more, which I don't really like timing, so I don't even like saying that. But now my strategies are kind of going to change, because once I move, I won't be subject to capital gains tax. So that really changes a lot. Holy, AMC now at 40%. Wow. That is absolutely bonkers. Up 40 freaking percent. Let me update the title here. Wow, this thing is just climbing like a mother. And now GameStop is kind of trending a little bit with it, seeing some of this momentum, because we've been negative most of the day here. But, oh, look at that. GameStop's seeing a pop now because of this. Look at that. Am I going to make a vlog on your new island? Maybe I'll do some vlogging. I don't know. That's something that's new to me. If I can try, I'll see about it. If I can make it interesting, if you guys are interested in seeing it, I'll think about it anyways. Do I think Bitcoin is on its way to 33K right now? Do I have Bitcoin on this? I don't even know if I can pull up Bitcoin on this chart. No, I don't think I can. So let me log into my crypto brokerage here real quick. Un momento. Because I like the charts on this one. Let's see here. Spot trading, and let's pop that over. We'll put it up here. All right, we're on Bitcoin right now. Now we're looking pretty healthy. Let's see. Zoom out a little bit. I mean, it's of course anyone's guess, but it seems like every time Bitcoin jumps down, it jumps right back up, and I've actually profited a couple times because of that. I had a day, what was it, about 2 weeks ago, where I was just transferring some money from Bitcoin to USDT, and I just happened to buy in at an opportune time when the price was dipping, one of those days that it was dipping. I don't remember the exact day. But just in that day, I wasn't even trying to do a swing trade or a day trade or anything like that. I profited something like $2,600 in one day just from the swing, because it's like we get that down pressure on Bitcoin, but then there's just so many people who are like, ooh, Bitcoin cheap, let me just gobble that up. Even though there's, now there's starting to be more FUD in the air about Bitcoin. But I think that's kind of starting to dissipate. I haven't heard as much about it in the recent days. Okay, AMC saw a little bit of a correction. Can't be too surprised there. Look at the volume though. 3.7 million in a minute, 4.9 million in a minute, 7.4 million, 3.2 million, 200,000. That is crazy. Also, did any of you guys get a notification for this? Let me know. I haven't streamed in so long that I was curious how YouTube would treat this. Let's see here. I thought I had said a while back I have around 1,800 shares of Palantir. Yeah, let me see exactly how many I have. I haven't sold any, so let's see. I have 2,400 shares of Palantir. Actually, I have a little bit more than that because I have some in this Webull account as well. So it's probably like 2,440 or something like that. Cool, you got a notification. What's going on, New Abyss? It's been a while. I couldn't open a KuCoin account because the area I live. I don't know where you can't open it. Do you live in New York? I know they have some tricky rules, and also some in Nevada too, I think. Let's see here. Let's see, AMC to 30 today. That seems, I mean, honestly, anything seems possible at this point. Oh, Palantir saw a little bit of a correction here. Up and then down. That's all right. Yeah, so while I have this up, let's see what my Palantir, see how it's faring. So right now, my average price, where does it say my average price? Oh, actually it's higher than I thought. It's 21.80 per share is my average. So I'm up 2.6% on my average buy-in. It's kind of a bummer because at one point it was up 20%, but try not to think about that because I'm just long-term focused. And also I would say most days, because I'm not streaming most days, I don't even look at the share price. And I think that's probably a healthy way to do it. Oh, now we're up over 40% again. Let's see here. Any thoughts around Polygon Matic? So I'm not I don't know enough about Matic to really give you like a deep opinion. That's one of those that I need to do a deep dive on. I always hesitate to like give an opinion on a coin because what I find out is most of the coins that are really popular, aside from the meme ones, there's every other week there's a new meme coin that, just blows up. But the ones that are consistently popular, the big top 20, they're all popular for a reason because they have great use cases. So I'm sure if I dug into it, I would like it, but I don't know all of the specifics on it quite yet. I do know a decent amount about Chainlink, VeChain, XRP, Ethereum, and ADA though. Take a look at this hidden gem, Kinu Inu. All right. I don't even know. Can I just look that up on CoinMarketCap? Let's see if I can find anything over here. All right, I think here we have some kind of chart. I'm not super familiar with this website, livecoinwatch.com. So this is a tiny little guy. 1 million in volume. This thing is a little pipsqueak. Let's see here. Not a big fan of how this chart looks. It's hard to read. But, I mean, it's just a tiny little coin, so, you know. This is more a gamble than anything when they're that small, that crazy small. Look at how many zeros there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 zeros. That is just crazy. All right, it's time for some coffee, though. Do I think the bull market is over? You know, I think we really got tested in the last couple weeks, and I think because of the testing, it's not over. Where are we at here? Let me pull up ADA. Oh, ADA is actually down a little bit today, down 1% in the last 24 hours. But I think the fact that we saw this recovery, you know, this was a massive spike. You know, whenever there's a huge spike, it basically doubled in a short period of time. Whenever there's a huge spike, you can expect a correction. That's just how things go. Even though on the ride up, it feels like it's going to last forever. I don't think the bull run is over. And it appears to me that most people who bought into ADA are actually kind of in a safe place right now, where you bought in closer to the $1 amount back when everyone was making fun of me saying that it's a stable coin. So I just don't think that it's over. You know, last Sunday, I had myself questioning if this bull market was over or not. That was the last day that I bought the dip, and it was like, man, is this thing just going to keep on dipping and I'm just throwing cash into a bonfire? Because it kind of felt like that on Sunday. And I thought about even making a video talking about how I bought the dip again, but I was like, no one wants to hear about me buying the dip for the third time. And then luckily I did. Because I did, I'm now way up. My crypto portfolio is the highest it's ever been, even though the prices aren't the highest they've ever been, just simply because I bought that dip again. I just don't personally think that the dip is over, or the bull market is over. Price target, as far as that goes, that's extremely hard to guess. It is a guess. You know, something as simple as an Elon tweet can mess up all trajectory, mess up technical analysis. Caddy Cads, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Max, I need my money back. You probably spoke to someone posing as me. It sounds like there's a lot of spammers posing as me. I do my best to block all those. I even pay for a service to block spam comments posing as me, but some of them still squeak through. I don't request money from anyone. I don't invest anyone's money. So it sounds like, unfortunately, you reached out to a spammer, or a spammer reached out to you. I'm not sure who Charles is either. So I'm sorry to hear that, but you got to be very diligent. All my comments have a check mark next to them, so that's how you can tell. Good to see you as well, Noah. I can only afford one share of AMC. Is that enough? I mean, you know, if that's all you can afford. Oh, we're about to hit $30. We're 50% in a freaking day. This is honestly bonkers. Holy, 50% in a day. Don't move 3,000 miles away. Help me, Kevin, save the world. Yeah, you know, I had this move plan before he announced his run for governor, and then I was kind of like, you know, what am I doing with my life? I need to be in some kind of public office. I got time though. Wow, up 50 freaking percent. You know what? Time to crack open the old sparkling water. There we go. Let's see here. Yeah, can you imagine shorting this stock right now? How you would feel, especially if you shorted it like last week at 12 bucks or whatever. Can you imagine unlimited losses being like, even if I did short stocks, which I don't because I don't really like betting against stuff in general. Even if I did short stocks, I would not bet against one that just has this public sentiment around it. It just seems so dumb. Like there's other stocks you could bet against that no one cares about, you know? What's going on? Trading Success Show. Welcome, welcome. Let's see here. Why don't I change my avatar? Yeah, I probably should. I just literally have not changed it since I started a YouTube channel, and now it's kind of funny to me how different I look. Maybe I'll just cut my hair and match the picture again or something like that. Then I don't have to worry about about changing it. Will this go to $100? I mean, honestly, anything can happen at this point. It's so insane. If it can get to $30, it's kind of like, you know, you could see it getting to 50. You could see it getting to 60. And this isn't the squeeze either. This is just pure price action, really. Wow. Let's see here. You look at crypto too? Yeah, I'm a big fan of crypto, definitely. It's harder to analyze for sure. It's more like trying to analyze a startup than it is like a cash flowing stock, if you will. But yeah, I'm very interested in the crypto space. What's the link to Kinu? Now, I wasn't telling anyone to buy that. I was just pulling it up because someone had requested I pull it up. But I think you probably have to go on Pancake Swap or something like that to buy that coin. But just I don't know anything about that coin. I don't condone it. You have to do your own due diligence. Definitely, it was a tiny little micro cap, like $1 million or something like that. Thoughts on Apple's new crypto? Well, so they don't actually have a crypto yet. All they had was a job position for someone who has experience in alternative payment methods, i.e. cryptocurrency, which is very exciting because I think if they opened up, you know, they could have their own cryptocurrency. There's a lot of different ways they can do it. They could have their own cryptocurrency, which I'm sure would do well. Honestly, they should, because it would hit $1 billion market cap in seconds. It'd probably hit $100 billion market cap within a week. So they could have their own coin and just open it up to their Apple Pay users and just boom, open up to 500+ million people. Or they could just allow for transfers of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, I don't know, on Apple Pay. And that itself would also open up crypto to tons of new people. I did a little analysis on this, and just adding up the numbers from various services who allow you to buy crypto, like Robinhood, they have 14 million users. Coinbase, 54 million users. I don't know what the numbers are on Webull. There was one more that I looked up. Venmo, 50 million users. So all of those combined isn't even close to the number of users of Apple Pay. So they would just open the market to a massive number of additional people. Oh, so we're seeing some correction here. Seeing some big correction here. People getting scared, people taking profits. Volume's always real heavy on those big sell-off chunks. Oh, look at that. 6.6 million in volume in that minute. Wow. Is this a fake squeeze? I mean, it's very hard to tell whether it's the real squeeze or if it's just price action. I think until it actually happens, it's almost impossible to tell how long, can the shorters hold out. The actual squeeze could be a matter of hours, it could be a matter of days, depending on how long it takes to cover those and the available shares. The one inherent problem with a squeeze is you're battling human nature. If everyone held and no one sold, the price theoretically goes to infinity. But as the price doubles, triples, quadruples, you have people falling off all along the way, which is negative pressure to the squeeze. Not to say that it can't happen, but it's just important to understand how the kind of mechanics work. Let's see here. Can you ever see a B2C play on Palantir? Yeah, so they have kind of hinted at this in some of their earnings calls. And I think Palantir is going to kind of take it. So I guess we can back up a second. Palantir's goals per their latest earnings call is to be the biggest, most important tech company in the world. And I think they probably understand if they're trying to do that, they can't just be a government contractor. They can't just support S&P 500 companies or Fortune 500 companies. They have to touch everyday consumers. The biggest companies in the world touch billions of people. We're talking about the Apples, the Microsoft, things like that affect individuals massively. So I think they understand that if they're trying to truly be the biggest, they have to get to a B2C play. Now, how they do that, I guess, could be a million different ways. Maybe they scale down from the large business to mid-size business, 100 to 500 employees, maybe down to solo operator businesses where they're benefiting someone who just literally works for themselves. And that could be a potential B2C play where, like a single person business is kind of a consumer, more just a regular consumer than it is a business, in my opinion. There's just so many fundamental differences to a one-person business and a 100-person business. A one-person business is much more akin to just a person, buying and selling something. So I think it's possible. How they could do that, I'm not sure. It would almost have to be maybe indirect how they did it, helping companies who help consumers. Something with data, obviously. Yeah, I think it's possible for sure. Let's see here. John, welcome. Throwing down on your move. I appreciate that. I need all I can get for this freaking move. It's costing me an arm and a leg. You would not believe how much this freaking move has cost me. How do I think Godpill is doing right now? I just stay out of that. I don't even know anything about whatever's going on with that guy. I'm just glad I'm not part of it. That's all I got to say. Palantir should go into robotics, a Skynet / Terminator. They kind of are, because they have a strategic partnership with this startup who's building this kind of like Iron Man type suit. So they kind of are doing that. Have I looked into Matic or Harmony One? No, I haven't. I think I do have a tiny bit of Matic in my Coinbase account because I answered some of those questionnaires and they gave me some a while back. But yeah, I don't have a ton of knowledge around Matic or Harmony One. I should put those on my list. The thing is, with how I do my research, I spend so many hours digging into these coins where it's like I just literally can't know everything about every single coin. Like one breakdown here, I can pull it over to my iPad here real quick. I have my breakdowns here just in case anyone wanted me to go over any specific coins. So like not only do I do pages of research, like typing, but then I'll put everything onto like spreadsheets to kind of help, or not spreadsheets, flowcharts to help me understand it a little bit better. So like we're talking 5 to 10 hours on each crypto or stock that I'm breaking down to really understand it. So unfortunately, I just can't like have a super in-depth understanding of every every various crypto, but I'm working on it. Thinking of diversified, 30% stocks and 70% crypto. What do I think? I think that is very, very heavy on crypto. You know, I'm bullish on crypto, very bullish on crypto, but that is a volatile portfolio by any any definition. So that's up to you if you think crypto is, you know, going to be the future. I think crypto is like, it's going to be either the future, the everything, or it's going to be nothing. Like, I feel like it's a moonshot. I think more likely than not, it's going to be everything, because it's just one of those things where it's like, this makes sense. You know, you look into a project and you're like, why is this not a thing? It seems like this should be a thing. But man, I wouldn't want to be 70% in crypto just because I would think about it all the time. Like, I like to have positions that I don't have to think about. I don't know what my exact position is right now, but it's probably a little too heavy on crypto, but I'm probably 20%, 15 to 20%. And I feel like that's on the heavy side of crypto. Let's see here. Crypto is an asset, not a currency. Yeah, that's what the SEC wants is trying to say. Will I live alone in Puerto Rico? No, I won't. I have my girlfriend moving with me, one of my best friends moving with me, and someone who is going to help me on the channel, potentially move as well. Let's see. I know a good moving company. Yeah, it's kind of ironic because we don't do like moves across bodies of water. So my own company is kind of no help to me in this move. So the place that I got is fully furnished. So I don't really have to worry about moving a whole lot. And what I am doing is just getting like a bunch of big suitcases, and I'm just going to pay for extra baggage on a flight and just try to fit everything I need in like 4 suitcases. Let's see here. Okay, we gotta block this SBA Help Center BS here in the comments. Report. See, that's who is spamming everyone. This SBA Help Center nonsense. Let's see. AMC floating back around 38%. Seems like a big drop, but I mean, still 38% in a day. Man, their market cap is just, I mean, yeah, they've definitely never had a, well, no, their share price was 30 at one point. Oh, they might have just hit an all-time high share price. Let's see. Oh, the all-time high is 33.50, 51. So we're pretty close to an all-time high share price. I mean, that looks like the beginning of a squeeze if you ask me. If you zoom out to the month view, holy smokes. Wow. How is your sector allocation in stocks? Heavy in tech? You know, you would think that I would have my portfolio really like factored down to what is my percentage in this position, in that position. I don't have those numbers offhand, but I would say it's not necessarily heavy in tech because I try to focus mostly on just basic kind of staple, boring kind of stuff. You know, like a Berkshire Hathaway, an S&P 500, insurance companies, you know, just basic staples. So I would say tech, this would be kind of an estimate. I'm probably 30% tech stocks, 70% non-tech. What time did the stream start? Just shy of an hour ago. Let's see. Why am I moving? Several reasons. Trey had a stroke at 26 bucks. Several reasons. First off, some change, trying out something different. I've lived here in Arizona for 6 years now. Don't really have any like family here that, any like massive reason where I need to be here besides my business, which of course is a huge concern, but I've got that all situated and figured out. So that's going to be all right. So get out of the comfort zone, some change. Taxes are a big consideration because I'll save probably, I guess I don't know the exact number, but I'll probably save half of my taxes by moving. So that's very significant. And that's just going to allow me to invest in more stuff and, have a larger impact in the long run. Kind of the way I'm looking at it is like the more I have to invest now just means more impact I can do in the long run. It's not like I spend money on myself, really. I drive a cheap car. This is like a thrift store shirt. I don't really care about that kind of stuff. So it's like if I can just keep on allocating money, building it up, investing, then it's just going to allow me to do, more impactful things in the long run, whether that be starting other businesses, helping out people, things like that. Yeah, so the cost of living there is definitely going up. It's very hard to find affordable housing that's like reasonable. So you can find like crazy cheap stuff, like an apartment for $200, but anything that's like like kind of nice is just crazy expensive right now because there's just very little supply. So it's kind of unfortunate. But even like, it seems like everyone is moving there, but I saw a stat that said that there was only like 3,000 new applicants or approvals in the program that I'm doing, the tax incentive program that I'm doing last year. It's only 3,000. Seems like nothing to me. Can we do a comparison of AMC to the GME squeeze when it ran to 500 plus? Oh, that's interesting. Let's see if we can. Let's do a little line guy. What's a better view, day or? I guess the day is a good view. I feel like it's going to look actually quite different. So here we have the run up to, it hit 400 something very briefly. So briefly, doesn't even really show on this. But a real fast jump up, spike down, jump up. And then with AMC, it was a slow build up, now a spike. So it's kind of like time will tell exactly if it looks, similar, but it seems like we would be, about here onto this run up if we were comparing it to GameStop, which of course we don't know if it's going to happen 1-to-1 or how exactly that'll work. Time for some more coffee. Let's see here. Alrighty. Tesla is definitely highly shorted, especially now that there's been a little bit more like negativity in the air since the price has been going down a little bit more. Yeah, it seems like those shorts are really, really jumping up. And then also with the Michael Burry announcement that he doesn't short it, or at least we don't know, I guess, because you don't have to report that. But he bought options against it, betting that it's going to go down. Just looking back at some previous questions here. Best app for staking. So the one that I use is KuCoin. I have that linked in the description if you want an account there. Let's see, I have it up here somewhere. You have various options. You know, I think crypto.com you can. There it is. Crypto.com is one. I'm pretty sure you can stake on. You can't on Coinbase. The only problem with staking is like most of the sites, at least any of them that I've seen, aren't the most user-friendly, so just be aware of that. You're not going to have the best UI, the best user experience, because it's just kind of new. So just be aware that there's going to be a learning curve wherever you go. My thoughts on Coinbase. So I have a solid position in Coinbase. And you know what? Coinbase was a big learning lesson for me. I probably should add to my position, to be honest, even though I don't really like adding in green days. But the price is still pretty darn low. Went down to 240. Wait, let's go to the day view. Wow, it was down to 208 at one point. Man, the problem is I bought into Coinbase, I bought a solid chunk. I thought I bought in at a good price. You know, I still think that I did long term, but I just think with how Coinbase panned out, it looks like I bought in at a bad price right now. I think let me see what my average share is. Average share 245. So I'm not sitting very well by any means. Which I think that in the long term, that's not even a price that I'm worrying about whatsoever. Oh wait, no, it's at 245 right now. I'm definitely bought it higher than that. Let me see. No, my average share price is 331. Yeah, that sounds better. So I think long term, either way, I still think that that's a fine price. But now that I see this price at 245, I feel like I should probably buy more. Even though I've already bought more than I really want to buy, I do feel like this is an opportunity to average down because they are a cash flowing, highly profitable company and a startup. Just makes you wonder if there's going to be some kind of another correction, but I guess does that even matter in the long term? Not really. You know what? I'm going to buy some more. I've just convinced myself I'm going to buy some more. Average down a little bit more. Let's see. I'm going to buy $5,000 worth. So that is how many shares? 10, 20 shares. Yeah, 20 shares, $4,900. Yeah, I think it's probably for the it's probably for the best that I average down a little bit more with these prices as low as they are. And thank you for reminding me, because that's been in the back of my mind for a while that I should average down a bit more. All right, I just bought $5,000 worth. There we go. It's that easy. This time next year, that probably will feel like a good idea. So now my average share price is a trade executed. Average share price. Come on. Hasn't updated yet. 311. Okay. So it went down pretty dramatically. I'm still need to see a 20% catch up in order to break even. So that's one of my, at least short term, one of my worst trades ever. But I think long term, it's one of those things where it's like, I know long term it's going to be fine. You know, a bet on Coinbase is a bet on profitable crypto. You know, it's like buying into crypto, but you also get a return. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. But right now, it feels a little bit painful, but it'll be all right long term. turn on the volume a bit. Let me know if I'm too quiet. One person's saying I'm too quiet. I can bump up the volume a tad. Let's see. Price target for Coinbase 10-year horizon. It's very hard to say with the price multiples. It's so attuned to the, before the direct offering, I think my price target for the end of the year was $500. And honestly, I still don't think that that's unrealistic, because I'm surprised it's not valued at a higher multiple with how profitable they are. Most startups are not profitable. I mean, let's see. What's the price to sales? I mean, they're in a total different market. Let's see. I do love the ticker symbol coin. They really hit that one spot on. Let's see what their price to sales is. Why is it not showing? Show me the price to sales. Come on. Show me. All right, I guess we're going to have to do this manually. Market cap, 50 billion. Revenue, 1.28 billion divided by 0.28. Price of sales of 39. That's fairly high. But with it being a crypto play, I'm actually surprised it's not higher. But maybe because many institutionals don't quite understand it as much, it doesn't push up the price. Because I wouldn't be surprised if it had a price to sales of 70. Which would, let's see, what would a price of sales? 70 times 1.28 billion. Then how many shares? They have 142 million shares. Times 142. Oh wait, 80. Sorry for the silence here. I'm just figuring out how much it would be per share. Divided by 0.141. Yeah, that's what it is. $567 a share. There you go. So that still doesn't seem unreasonable to me. I think long term, it'll be a fine play. It's a very profitable company. Yahoo Finance says the price to sales is 22. That doesn't make sense to me. That does not make sense to me. I better get a really good Wi-Fi tower on that island. So that was my biggest concern moving. And believe it or not, they have awesome Wi-Fi there. And I think it's because there's so many people who move there who do internet type businesses. And of course they need good Wi-Fi. But even the Wi-Fi in my Airbnb there was faster than my Wi-Fi here. And I have good Wi-Fi here. So yeah, it's going to be fine. The building that I'm in has fiber. So I think we'll be chilling. Also, it has a generator. So we'll be stable. We'll be stable, we'll be chilling. I have no knowledge in stocks. I would invest 500, but where do I start? If you only have $500 to invest, you probably want to put it in something safe, in my opinion, like an index fund, S&P. I know that's probably not what you want to hear, but individual stock picks are not what you should do if you only have $500 to invest. Build up your little nest egg first, and then maybe individual stock picks. And again, that's probably not what you want to hear, but I think that's the best way to do it. Go back to watch lists. Okay, so AMC's cooling off a little bit. Same with GameStop. They saw their nice little spiky spike and rode down a little. Excuse me. Can I do a video about the Bitcoin halving that's supposed to happen at the end of this year? I mean, it kind of already happened. You know, maybe that was the Bitcoin halving. It was at something like 64,000 and then it went down to 30,000. Like that could be the halving. I know it's not right on track with the 4-year cycle, but just because something happened in the past doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen again. Because here we are, about 65,000 all the way down to 29. There's your halving. And the thing is, I think about the 4-year cycle. If everyone's expecting it to be a 4-year cycle, the effects might happen 6 months early, which would kind of put us where we are right now. So that might have been the halving that we're all worried about. And it could just be happening faster now, because now there's more people familiar with it. They're gobbling it up. The truth is, no one knows exactly what's going to happen, and if anyone says they absolutely know what's going to happen, they're liars. That's the truth. What about ADA? You tell me, what do you want to know about ADA? Oh, is having when the hash rate payouts are halved. Yeah, so that that's part of the number of Bitcoins that are locked up right now. Bitcoin spits out a number of new coins every single time or every single year, and that rate decreases over time. And mining becomes less and less profitable over time. The only thing is miners still have transaction fees. And the idea is the transaction fees will pay for the missed expense on the Bitcoin being unlocked. Do I still own any eComi? Yeah, I do, and I wish I did not. I wish I did not. Let's see here. Yeah, Elon. Good old freaking Elon. Let's see here. IPOs always seem to tank. Yeah, you know, they always seem to have a lot of hype around. And like I said earlier, I definitely learned a lesson with the IPOs. I held off with Roblox. I was smart enough there. But then with Coinbase, I just saw how profitable they were. And it was just so tempting to hop in. And, I learned that even if it potentially means on missing out on an early price, I think it's better to let the dust settle and see where the market determines the price should be, because the market doesn't always make sense. It might not always agree with you or your friends or everything like that. What's my opinion on Tattooed Chef? Now, I'm not an expert in Tattooed Chef. Now, I will say, though, that it trades at a fairly high multiple, which is concerning to me for a company that isn't like a tech company. Let's just pull up their financials. Like, I've literally never even looked at their financials before, so I'm not saying I'm an expert by any means. But let's see here. PDE of 12, that actually seems lower than I would expect. Where's the sales ratio? Market cap 1.81 billion. So wait, are they profiting a lot? Maybe I'm wrong. What's their profit? $67 million in profit. $149 million in sales. How does that add up? Let me do some math here real quick. 67 million in profit. Yeah, net income. 1,810 divided by 67. That's a PDE of 27. So that's wrong. That is not right. Oh, okay. That's probably more accurate. Okay. Anyways, it's a little concerning to me that a non-high growth company is valued like a growth company, because it's a lot harder to rapidly grow a company like this that's selling food than it is someone who's selling bits. You know, it's very easy to replicate a program, something like that. It's not as easy to get all the trucks and the facilities and everything needed to produce 10x more food than you're already producing. So that's a little bit concerning to me. Of course, in the short run, the price could do anything, because, you know, I know there's momentum around this company. There's a lot of people who talk about this company. So we don't really know what's going to happen in the short run. Which can also help. It can kind of become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If the stock price is high, they have more cash to do things and expand things quickly. Of course, it's hard to expand things quickly as well in this case. So, you know, there's some considerations there. I don't have a position. It's a little concerning to me that it's valued like a growth company. Let's see. Is Viacom still a good long-term play? So I don't think it's the greatest like 5-year play, but I do think it's a good like 6 to maybe 18-month play. So let's see what the price is at right now. It's at 43 bucks. I think realistically a year from now, just based on their cash flows, this stock could easily be $55 to $60. Based on an analysis that I did a while ago. I have a video breaking down all of that if you're interested in more information there. But right now, back when I talked about it, let's see, what price? I think it was at $38. Yeah, $38.08 is the day I talked about it. It's up 14% since then. And I think we'll probably see this go up about 36 to 40% from when I talked about it. And then I'll probably sell out. So I believe in it enough short run wise that it's a profitable company. It has a base of business. It has profitable brands. But I don't think that that company is going to be bigger and better in 5 years from now. I think it's a solid company, but it's still a cable company. It's still in an industry that's not doing so great, but it's just very cheap for that industry as well. So it's kind of like the cigar butt idea. And I think it's just it's a good swing, I guess, swing trade, 6 to 18-ish months. So I'll probably sell on that, either if it's been like a year or so and we're up a decent amount, or if it happens to hit like $50 quickly, $55 quickly, then I'll probably sell. Let's see. PLTR climbing back up. Oh, you know what? I'm pretty sure earlier we said if it hit 22.50, I would crack open the emergency beer in my fridge. So here we are. Let me go grab that real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Okay, here we are. This has been in the work fridge for months now. It's a natural light, so it's not an ideal beer for a celebration, that's for sure. But I'm not sure if you can see this. You can't. Let me just read it. There's been this note on it in the fridge, in the work fridge, that says, "Emergency beer, open when all other options have failed." And here we are, an emergency beer at 11:30 a.m. Let's have it. Cheers to Palantir. Oh, and we're back down below 22.50. Anyways, still cannot complain, especially when we were at $17 recently. Oh, I never even talked about this. I haven't touched the volume. I never even talked about this. So when it was down to $17, I was actually at the airport standing in line to get on a plane when it was like tanking at $17, and this was in pre-market. And I set an order at $17, like before, as we were getting on the plane, set this order. I was waiting for it to go through. This was pre-market. And we fly, we take off, and the whole time I'm thinking, I hope that order went through at $17 because there was just not like a whole lot of trading emotion going on. I just wasn't sure if it went through. Landed, order did not go through, and the price was already up like 20% in that day. So I was like, oh, I would have made so much money on that if my order just went through. I set a limit order and just did not go through. I was so frustrated with that. What software am I using? This is Webull. That's what I have pinned up in the comments there. You'll get a free stock if you open an account. Also, linked in the description is my Patreon. So I've been focusing a lot on the Patreon. I found that people seem to like it a lot more than the YouTube membership. So on the Patreon, I think there's only there's not very many spots open yet, or open still. I want to say there's like 8 or so spots open. And on there, we've done like a private live stream. I have some private content on there. All my buy alerts go on there whenever I buy a stock or a crypto. Discord access. All my research notes get uploaded there. So there's a ton going on the Patreon. So if you want to join that, that's linked in the description. You can go ahead and join that. Sipping on a beer, yes I am, because Palantir broke $2.50. I cracked it open and now it is lower than $2.50 because that's life. That is life. Tyson Foods dropped below $80. This is a company no one wants me to talk about. But let's see. Oh, they were only at 81. I don't even know what they peaked at. Oh man, they were at $94 at one point. I didn't even realize they were that high. Yeah, that's probably too high, to be honest. This has been a good play. If you've been watching my streams, or if you did watch my streams like in January, you'll know that I've been touting this company since it was at like $60 a share as a good growth play. At this point, it's still good. It's not as good, but it's still good. Like maybe I'll consider adding to it a little bit. Will I please do a KuCoin tutorial for us dummies? Yes, I will. I have actually filmed it already. I just need to edit it. So it's in the queue of videos that need to be finished. Let's see here. If you are a fellow Palantir holder, send me a little beer emoji in the chat down there, the little mug emoji, just so I know who the real holders are out there. Especially, send me 2 beer emojis if you weathered that dip and you believed that we would get out of that dip. Here we are, Paul. Good point. Me Tarzan, me move to jungle. You know what? I had to fulfill the prophecy. That is a great point. I have thought about making like a studio look like a cave with like a fire in the background. I think that'd be pretty hilarious. That'd be doing the most, but I've definitely thought about it. There we go. Look at all these PLTR holders. 6,500. Dang. You got more than I do. 6,500, so that's like 130 grand or something like that. Jeez. There we are. Yeah, I'm bringing Jane with. Jane is coming. In two senses of the word. Let's see here. How can I learn what you know about investing? Well, most of my stuff is free, just on YouTube. I have a playlist just titled Investing. I think it has like 80 videos on it. So I would start there. And then if you want more in-depth, consider the Patreon. But there's a lot of free stuff out there. So don't feel obligated to pay for anything or to join anything. Oh, did she comment on the video? I didn't even see that. Cardano flowchart. We can pull up the Cardano flowchart. Since I'm a Cardano, I've decided is the Palantir of crypto. I've decided that. I've named it that, the Palantir of crypto. So I guess we can just kind of go through this. Cut, and there we are. All right. Cardano, ADA. Let's see here. I mean, most people know what it is. So their biggest competitor is Ethereum. Biggest competitors of Ethereum. However, I think there's room for both Cardano and Ethereum to thrive and survive, because I think what's going to happen is they're going to end up carving out their own kind of niche, because like Cardano is trying to help out like the underbanked in Africa and things like that, and their focus is just slightly different than Ethereum. I think there's going to be opportunity for both. I am bullish on both. My positions in both are pretty much the same, actually. Ethereum is actually slightly higher, but that's just because it's returned slightly more, but I've bought the same amount of both. Proof of stake, not to be confused with piece of beep. Focus on security, scalability, low transaction costs, and interoperability. So high security, they kind of tote themselves as the very first provably safe proof of stake coin, which just means like cryptographers agree there's a consensus that this is provably mathematically safe. Scalability, which has to do with transactions per second, showing the TPS report. So that's a big focus of theirs. Theirs is better than like a Bitcoin, but they aren't like the best. They aren't like on Chainlink level, which Chainlink has like an entire different consensus mechanism. Low transaction costs. They have very low transaction costs, especially when you compare it to Ethereum and their gas fees. Now, Ethereum's going to get better about that as well with their proof of stake once that is completely rolled out. And interoperability, which is very interesting. Interoperability is the ability to communicate between cryptos. So right now, cryptos are kind of dumb. We're in like crypto 1.0, or I guess technically this is crypto 2.0, but cryptos are kind of dumb because you can't like, they can't communicate like you would want them to. So to go from Bitcoin to Ethereum, yes, you can trade it on something like a spot trade kind of thing, but it's more difficult than it should be. So they're working on these cross-chain coins that would help with that. And they use the scientific method in order to do all their upgrades. Basically, they do research, they have a scientific consensus before they make any changes, which is an interesting approach, and they focus on smart contracts. If there's a specific area here you want me to really dive into, I don't know if I should spend 20 minutes going over all of this, but we have their goals, a little bit on proof of stake, thoughts, and if it's possible they could hit a $1 trillion market cap. So there is a copy of this on the Patreon already. Otherwise, you could just screenshot this if you want. But if you want to download the PDF, that's on the Patreon. But I'll hold it up here in case you just want to screenshot it as well. So let's see here. So let me know if you have specific questions on ADA. I know not everyone is interested in all things ADA, and we'll pop back and forth, but I'm happy to answer any questions there. Let's just check back into AMC. Still sitting pretty good. Pretty good indeed. It's recovered somewhat from that big old run that we saw. It's consolidating a little bit. Bitcoin actually creeping up on 40,000 again. I wonder, did it pass 40,000 at all? It's got close. Okay, so it was at 40,000 this morning. Okay. Okay. All right, smart contracts. If smart contracts go live, ADA raises to the 20s. That'd be interesting. To the 20s, that seems a bit dramatic. There's definitely going to be a bump, but if you think about it, even a 50% bump, is a huge bump. How come Max doesn't chill with Trey anymore? I talk to him all the time. Actually, I suppose I can announce this here to this small group that we have. Trey and I are going to start a channel where we do once weekly streams together. So I can, let me get the link for that and I'll post it in there. I think we're doing our first one this week. So if you want to be notified, make sure you subscribe to this. Let me just grab the link. Yeah, this channel has 4 subscribers right now because we literally have not announced it. So this is the link to Trey and I's future channel. So feel free to subscribe to that. Turn on notifications if you want to be notified when we do go live. What was I going to say? There was a question here. What is my selling price for Palantir? So for Palantir, I don't really think in terms of what's my selling price because I'm very long-term on it. Like I want to hold this thing for 5-10 years and see what happens. My 1-year price target is $33. My 5-year is about 100 to 120. It's kind of flexible because things can change over 5 years. And that's conservative compared to what a lot of people's estimates are, but I like to be more on the realistic, low-key side. Really the only way I would sell would be a temporary sell if the price spiked really high temporarily to potentially, I even hesitate to say this because I don't like timing things, to potentially sell and then let things settle down, buy back at a lower price. So like I say, I hesitate to even say that because if the time came, if it shot up to $45, I'm not sure if I would sell, but that'd be the only time I would even consider it. Is that a natty light? Yes, it is. Very classy, I know. All right. So yeah, the channel is Not Financial Advice. Oh wow, we just hit 11 subscribers on the Not Financial Advice channel. That's funny. Yep. All right, let's see here. I do have an update video on ADA that I'm going to, I got a little bit more research to do today, and then I'm going to film that and try to get it posted ASAP. So I'll be looking forward to that as well. AMC still doing great, up 40% still. What's the volume here? Volume has slowed down a little bit. Looks like it's down about 50%. I was number 10. Yeah, you know what? If you were to subscribe to this new channel right now, you'll be able to say, hey, I was in the first 25 subscribers, especially when we hit 100,000 subscribers, probably quickly. So that's kind of cool. You can be one of the first, whatever, subscribers. Smash that like. That's right. All right, ask me some questions about ADA, Palantir, Ethereum, Ripple, VeChain, XRP. We got any XRP holders in here? I have a little bit of a gripe with XRP holders. Never have I met a community that is so aggressive as XRP holders. It's like, come on, so aggressive. And I like XRP. I'm a fan. I am a fan of XRP. What do I think Palantir's annual growth rate will be over the next 10 years? Now, I know they have a target of 30% over the next 5. So if they hit that, I mean, it's hard to sustain 30% growth. It really depends on how they can segment it into smaller and smaller markets. Excuse me. Into smaller and smaller markets, and, you know, like work with small businesses, medium-sized businesses. I think over 10 years, they'll probably see a 20% annualized growth rate at least. Like that would be a conservative estimate. Do I think Palantir would be just as well operated if Karp and Thiel were not at the helm for some reason? So I don't think Thiel really does much day-to-day wise for the business as is. Karp does seem to have a lot of influence, but generally with businesses like that, there are a lot of smart people at these businesses, and they probably would do all right even without Karpy Boy. That's what I call my dog, Karpy Boy. Seriously, not after Alex Karp, just coincidentally. So I think they'd probably do all right. Yeah, Thiel his connections are definitely awesome, and plus now he has this reputation of just like hitting home run after home run. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate that. He says, love the crypto video. Learned a ton from them and your flowcharts. Ever looked at Elgo? I have not done a deep dive there. I have not done one yet. But I will, probably, eventually. I probably should just do a deep dive on like the 20 biggest coins. That way I have all my bases covered, but that's just like a month of work. Let's see here. Wolfram Alpha to provide Oracle services for Cardano. I actually haven't seen that yet. I'll have to look into that, because I know that they were talking about doing their own Oracle services as well. I previously said I'm buying Palantir under 23.50. What's my new buy at price now? So I do like the price even now, to be honest. The only thing is I've gone so heavy on it that now I'm like, okay, I got to rebalance this portfolio a little bit and put some more cash into index funds and things like that, because I'm getting a little too heavy Palantir. So I even like the price right now, if we're being honest. If I had no Palantir, I probably would buy some even at this price. But you know, if it dropped below 20s, I'd feel like I have to buy more, even though I'm like already palantired to the neck. After I move and then understand all the expenses I have to pay in this move, then I'll go a little bit more ham on even more stocks. Let's see here. What is my main source of generating income? So I have a lot of different sources. I guess right now YouTube is actually my biggest source, but I have a lot of different sources. So I have my moving company, which is, you know, what has allowed me to survive for the last 5 years or whatever. That produces income right now. The YouTube channel produces the highest amount. However, it's volatile inherently. So 6 months from now, I don't know if it'll be my highest income source or not. Maybe it'll be 10 times bigger. Maybe it'll be 50% the size. I don't know. And then YouTube has a bunch of other, you know, smaller stuff with affiliates and things like that. If you want to convert an altcoin to another altcoin, do you have a specific procedure? Like always convert it to USDC and then the coin you want to buy? So that kind of varies. So like on KuCoin, a lot of times most stuff, like let's just pick a somewhat smaller coin, like a, why did that not pop up? All right, we'll just go to the alts. We'll just pick a random one. Litecoin's kind of big. We'll just say TRX. I don't really know anything about this coin, but you can see there's only 4 options here to trade to TRX, you know, from USDT, KCS, which is the native token here on KuCoin, Ethereum, or Bitcoin. So like if you're trying to trade from Chainlink to TRX, you'd have to trade into USDT first and then USDT to TRX, for example. One thing I like about this site is the trading fees are so low that it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Like for me, my average trading fees, you know, if I were to buy like, here, let me just see. If I were to buy $5,000 worth of something, it's way cheaper than Coinbase. Oh, I need to log in. I want to say it'd be like $1 or something like that, like $1.20 to buy $5,000 worth. So it's not expensive if you have to do like a transfer, then a transfer. So I don't worry about it too much. Yeah, Binance is good too. I like Binance as well. I like Coinbase too. So this is just the one that I use for most of my trading at this point. But I have a Binance account as well. And I like that with Binance, you can buy USDT directly from your bank account. So you can transfer from your bank account to Binance, buy USDT. You can't do that on Coinbase. Let's see here. Sorry if you can hear some riff-raff. Cheapest, most feeless way to buy Tether. I think that's on Binance. Because you don't have to buy something else and then transfer it and then buy. There's just less transferring. Moving company like trucks and stuff? Exactly. Trucks and stuff, trucks and guys and storage and all sorts of things like that. Exactly. Alrighty. I think that is going to do it for this stream. I have not done this in a while. It was fun. You know, I should probably do more of these. Helps me get more in tune with the market. I appreciate that. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Like this stream if you enjoyed it. And I'll try to do more of these in the future. Thanks again.